Hey guys, so welcome back to the channel. So a couple of days ago I put up a poll asking if anyone wanted to do a speed drawing story time, and I left 4 stories for everyone to vote on, and you all pretty much wanted to hear about the first story, which is how I almost got kidnapped. So thank you for voting, and if you enjoy these types of videos then I might continue doing them in the future if people want to know a few more stories that I have experienced. This video is going to be pretty unscripted because I'm doing this more by memory. But yeah, so I hope you all guys enjoy it, and let me know if you want to continue doing these in the future. So before we do get started, I'm just going to say that every single person in this is anonymous. Obviously I don't use my real name anyway online, so I won't be using anyone's real name here. And please be aware that this did happen years ago, so my memory can be a bit foggy in some areas, but this definitely happened. But obviously you need to take a few things with a grain of salt because obviously I was younger. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the story. So this story starts with any normal day. I was around 12 years old, and me, my sister and a couple of friends decided to go down to the shops. We were mainly just going to get like sweets or just hang out for a bit and stuff. Obviously we went down there with just us lot. We did tell our mum where we were going because I was living with my mum and stepdad at the time. Yeah, we just decided that we wanted to go down the shops because they were only about a 5-10 minute walk away from the shop from where we lived. So yeah, so we went off with that. When we were going down the shops, my sister spent a little bit more time chatting to our friends about some show that they were watching. At the time I was feeling a bit upset, not with my sister or anything, it was other things going on, but the fact that I couldn't speak to some people about it made me feel a bit lonely. And when we were with our friends, they more wanted to stay with me than me because I was normally tagged as the odd younger sister. So when we got to the shops, I decided not to talk to them, and then eventually decided not to go into the shops at all. And I kept feeling ignored, and I was feeling sidelined. Now, back then I didn't know that I had borderline personality disorder. I didn't understand why my emotions felt so intense, or why the sort of social rejection I was getting from other people stung so badly. Because I was feeling so isolated, obviously that's what caused me not to want to go into the shop. Counterproductive, I know, but BPD can make you do very odd things. So I mainly just stayed outside and wandered around in circles on the pavement outside because there's something I was prone to do, and to be honest I still do that now. While I was walking, a voice called out to me, just as I was walking past the corner bit of the shop, and standing just tucked away, just in the shadows, because at this point it was dusk, so it was starting to get dark. It turned out to be a man. He looked like he was in his late 20s, early 30s, so he looked at me and asked if I was alone. See, the thing is, I was only 12, and my instinct was always to be polite to people. I still am. Even if I'm not 100% cool with the person, I'll still be polite about it. So I told him that no, I wasn't alone, my sister was in the shops and I was just waiting for her, and we started to talk for a little bit, but right away I started to feel uncomfortable. On the surface he was completely polite, he didn't sound dangerous or aggressive, but my gut was telling me to be nervous. Then the conversation started to shift. He started asking really odd, invasive questions, and then he began complimenting my appearance. Now, at that point, the red flags in my mind were screaming, and I was getting incredibly uncomfortable at this point. I was hoping that my sister would speed up in the shop so that she would come out and she could help me get out of this conversation, because I just did not like the vibes I was getting from this person, as you could probably understand why. And then he asked me a very disgusting and inappropriate question, and he took a step out towards me and went to grab me. Thankfully, I managed to get a step back from him and I told him to go away. And he did immediately back up and went, "Oh, I'm sorry if I scared you." But at this point, I just went straight into the shop, found my sister. I just told her that I was going home and I went straight out the door and pretty much sped walk and then eventually started running home. I ran the entire way home, but I had a feeling that he was following me because I could hear somebody behind me. At this point it was very dark and I just wanted to get home. Luckily I got home without anything happening. I quickly burst through the front of my mum's house, completely panicked, and told my mum and stepdad exactly what had happened. A few moments later, my sister got home too. My sister was also shaken up and she also noticed that the man was following us and he was actually standing in an alleyway near our house. My stepdad immediately went out to go and confront the man and probably, beat the crap out of him. But unfortunately at that point he was gone. We did call the police and I had to give a false statement, and because they wanted me to feel safe and for my mum to be reassured, the officers gave me a small safety whistle in order to keep me safe. As far as I know, the police never found the guy. They did bring me in a couple of months later to go through like a list of people on their database. My dad brought me to the police station to do that. And nobody in our neighbourhood really knew who he was. And I didn't see him again after that, so I'm assuming he either just kept his distance or he didn't actually live around the area and he was there visiting. So we never actually found out who he was or why he did what he did. The only thing I do remember about him quite plainly was that he had ginger hair. So yeah, that's the story of how I almost got kidnapped, or God forbid something worse. The moral of the story is just be careful, do not talk to strangers, and especially don't stand outside a shops alone because anything could happen. Like I said, this man was completely unassuming. I had no idea what his intentions were, even though my instincts were telling me that something wasn't right. My impulsiveness to be polite almost got me kidnapped, pretty much. There are probably a few questions some people are wondering, like, well, why did you go down the shops alone in the first place? Did your mum say it was okay? Yes, it was fine because we had walked down to the shops many times before this and obviously nothing happened. So no one thought any differently to just let me go down the shops. And plus I wasn't alone, I was with a group of friends and my sister. I caused myself to become alone because I felt upset, which, while my BPD does explain why I did it, it's not really an excuse for me to just wander off on my own. At the end of the day, I was still a 12-year-old girl who was, through this man's eyes, on my own, and he didn't know that this person, he didn't know that if I was actually with my sister or not. All he knew is that I could be lying to keep him away from me. He doesn't know that. So, at the end of the day, if you go out with a group, stay with the group. That's all I can say. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the story time. If you guys would like another video like this, then feel free to let me know. And then I'll create another poll, probably with obviously the 3 options we had beforehand, but obviously a new option to replace the story that I told today. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.